If someone were to ask me, what is the one thing that you can invest in that has an unlimited ROI, meaning there's no cap on the return on the investment that you could expect to receive just by investing in this one thing, my response would be, is by investing in yourself. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over 5 ways that you could invest in yourself that could lead to an unlimited ROI on your investment. The very first way that you can invest in yourself is by learning financial literacy and money management. Now, let's face it, most of us are not taught the basic skills of money management. Whenever I was younger, I had no idea on how to put a budget together. What actually even went in a budget? And I always thought it was just boring, right? When anybody ever talked about budgeting and planning when it came to money, I didn't want to hear it because I was used to getting paid, getting my money, going out, spending it at the club, buying clothes, buying Jordans, buying jewelry, whatever, right? I spent every dollar that came into my household. And at the end of every single month, it was the same story. I would complain, I don't make enough money. I'm not being paid enough. But the fact of the matter is I was making enough money. The problem is I wasn't dictating where my money was going. And a lot of us have those problems. I mean, if you really take a look at the data, right? 60% of all Americans could not handle a $1,000 emergency that came up. And that's a problem, especially since we spend most of our lives worrying about how we're going to get to the bag, how we're going to make more money, right? When you talk to most people are thinking about how can they earn more money? Now, budgeting is not going to be the magic end all be all to your financial problems, but it's a start. It's your roadmap. It's going to be your plan on how you're going to get to your destination. And you have to figure out where you're starting along that journey. And if you can actually map that out, it can help you get to your destination much sooner. So learning how to budget is going to be one of the best things for your financial future. And that will automatically help to change your financial outlook. In addition to budgeting, learning just about money in general, learning how to invest, right? I have a small portfolio builder challenge that I started back in January of 2024, where I invest small amounts of money every single day into a brand new portfolio. If you're looking to learn how to invest, I'll link those videos down in the description below. Make sure you head over there and you check those out. And one last thing that you could do from a financial literacy perspective is reading books. Now, we all have heard about the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, and those are great books to get started with. But a couple of other books that you want to keep top of mind are The Millionaire Next Door, The Richest Man in Babylon, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and The Power of Habit. Those 4 books that I just gave you will give you a very solid foundation of money management, investing, time management, how to interact with people, and how to actually identify bad habits and turn them into good habits. So this first step is going to be your building block to your financial success. Once you actually start to master the financial literacy aspect of things, every other step after this becomes so much easier. Now, the second thing that you're going to be investing in that's going to help you get to that unlimited ROI number that we talked about earlier in the video is by investing in education and in skill development. So whenever I went to college back in the day, I got my undergraduate in business and I got my master's in business as well. Now, if I were to talk to someone today, I would advise them not to go down that route. Not because business is not a good thing, not because getting your MBA is not a good thing. It's just an oversaturated field right now. It's an oversaturated career that a lot of people are getting. And it's not a great way to differentiate yourself in the market from other people. So I would advise people, if you're looking to go to college and learn a new skill, I would get into a STEM field, and more particular, I would be getting into a tech field. And then on top of that, I would actually advise people to go to a junior or a community college to do all of their electives. The reason that I would tell people to go this route is because it's going to be extremely cheap to go to community college or junior college as opposed to a traditional college. And you're only going to do this to get your electives out of the way, right? We're talking about those freshman and sophomore level classes that count towards your major, but they're not actually the major classes. If you're able to go to a community college and those credits actually transfer over to a 4-year institution, you can likely cash flow all those classes while you're actually going. It would be very cheap and very easy to pay for those while you're going, and you can cut your college expenses by 50% at least. If you're not looking to go to college, there's plenty of other opportunities out there, right? If you want to go get a certification in coding, if you're a salesperson, maybe you want to go and brush up on your sales skills. So maybe you go to some sales seminars or you pay for some one-on-one sales coaching. I know people that have got into one-on-one coaching for various professions, and it helped change the whole direction of their life. Talk about unlimited ROI. The third thing that you're going to be investing in for that unlimited ROI is your health and wellness. We all talk about how to get our finances together. Some of us obsess about it. And I think that's just the nature of the beast, right? Everything runs on money, and we always have to run and feel like that we have to get to the bag. But we don't go with that same intensity when it comes to our health, at least not here in the West. And that's something that has to change, because you can't chase the bag your entire life and neglect your health. Because once you get to the bag, and if you keep chasing it and you're got your eye on the prize, you're going to eventually hit your goal. But what happens when you get there and your health fails? So you spent all of this time, effort, and energy to get to where you wanted to be, only to have your health fail, and you can't even enjoy the fruits of your labor. How many times have you heard that story? How many times has that happened to somebody that you know? How many times has that happened to somebody in your family? I bet if you think about it for a moment, you would be able to come up with a handful of people that went super hard and made a lot of money, but their health failed them, and either they passed away young or they weren't able to actually enjoy the fruit of their labor. So when we think about maximizing our ROI, we have to include health in the equation, because that's going to allow us to live our best life once we hit our goals. The fourth thing that we're going to be investing in that's going to give us an opportunity to have that unlimited ROI is investing in our personal branding and our communication skills. I can tell you, I started this YouTube channel 2.5 years ago. And if any of you guys have been with me since the beginning, or you go back and you take a look at some of my first videos that I posted, I cringe when I watch those, but I keep them up because I want to make sure that I can always go back and see the progress that I've made from video 1 to video 100 and beyond. And I really believe that this is one of the reasons that I've been able to improve from a communication perspective. It's absolutely noticeable in my career, and it's noticeable in my personal life as well. I've had many people reach out to me over email and let me know that, hey man, you're starting to really improve and you're starting to really look comfortable on camera. I've had people in my professional life that have come up to me and say, hey, you know, your presenting skills has increased. And that's important for several reasons. If you are in corporate America, you know that the more visibility that you have, the more opportunities you have for advancement, more opportunities for bonuses, and just more opportunities to make money in general. But whenever I talk to most people, they hate the thought of public communication, public speaking. I used to be one of those people, but I'm now starting to embrace that because I know that it is going to give me the best opportunity to put myself in a position and put myself in a space to be discovered and seen. We all have a skill that's useful to someone else. But if you don't speak up and if you're not vocal about it and you're not visible, no one's ever gonna know. And that's gonna make it much harder for you to make money, especially if you're in the corporate space. Now, if you're in a space where you're working alone, like coding or some back office stuff, that may not be as important. But being able to communicate is your personal brand. So you wanna make sure that you can communicate and dictate how your story is told. And the fifth thing that you should be investing in for that unlimited ROI is your networking and your relationships. Guys, I can't tell you how many people that I've met in undergrad and my MBA program and corporate America, different organizations that I've been with, where I've had those relationships carry throughout my entire adult life. And I've used those connections for jobs, for interviews, for prospects. I've actually had people reach out to me to help them, to be a reference for them to get a role at a new organization. Your network can be an extremely powerful resource for you. So you want to make sure that you continue to cultivate those relationships. Don't be the type of person that only reaches out when you need something. Be the person that's willing to reach out, stay in contact, offer help, offer some value to your network so they understand that you're a valuable addition to the group. Someone that they can lean on for advice, someone they can lean on whenever they have questions about how to actually get something done. I'm telling you guys, networking is going to be one of the best ways for you to actually advance through life. I mean, how many times have you heard that somebody got this job because they knew somebody? It's not always about what you know. It's often about who you know. And that goes back to your network. And there are some people that don't like that, but that's just how the game is played. You have to learn how to play the game to win. Guys, I've been talking about investing on this YouTube channel for a little over 2 years, but for the past 10 years or so, I have just been fully immersed in the financial space. And I can tell you that the number one thing that I have done over the past 10 plus years is actually investing in myself. And not just once or twice, but I'm continuing to invest in myself every single month, because I know that that is going to be the best way for me to maximize my ROI and get to where I want to be. And not just from a financial perspective, but just from an overall general where I want to be. It's extremely important to me because I know investing in myself will ultimately allow me to control my entire destiny. And that's all we can ask for. So what do you guys think about the things that I laid out about investing in yourself? Do you think that it provides you with the highest ROI that's available out of every investment that's out there? Why or why not? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.